We are part of the Fired Up Sports Network of shows. Please check out other Fired Up Sports Network podcasts like the P-Lot Pod, Water Cooler Talk, Bell Smashers, Philly Sports Love and Pain, Drunk on Broad, Beer Battered Sports, and the Fired Up Sports Show, which are available on all major podcasting hosting sites and social media. Also, check out Mark Ramos' Roundup on firedupsports.com, which breaks down the happenings going on with all your favorite local teams.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
Swinging a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup for the lead. Yes! Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
Oh, well, welcome in and listen.
Hello.
It's it is definitely the start of Howie season. He told us it was going to be different. I didn't know it was going to be this different, but it's different. But it definitely put the fast track on moving on from the what are we a little bit over a month removed from winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The gear still feels good to put on. Still feels good. But there's just a lot. There's a lot to go over. But we're here to talk about it all. Where do we begin? You want to start with?
People got paid stupid money in free agency this year.
Yeah.
Let's just start there.
I'm just letting you know, and anybody who is not watching it, but all of us football fans are looking. People got paid stupid money. Did you see the contract DeMarcus Lawrence got at 33 years old?
Ugh.
Like,
It's
Slay getting $10 million.
guaranteed.
1
year.
Like, that's insane. Milt, I love you, dude. Thanks for
But yeah, that was
See you later. You're the second highest paid defensive tackle behind Chris Jones. What? Josh Sweat, 3 for 78.5. What?
4.
74.
4 for 76.
4, yeah.
Milt Williams got what?
Yeah.
4 for over 100.
Yeah.
Orrin Burks got 2 years and $5 million.
Yeah.
You know, which is that one was one that surprised me. That seemed like that would have been an easy, like an easy one to kind of write off because it's not a ton of money. You don't because he's got years in the league. You don't have to guarantee a ton of money. The Isaiah Rodgers one too was one that I thought might kind of swing back in their direction, but only because I didn't think that the years and the money would be a deal breaker. But listen, for a guy that bet on himself, he's going to walk away with the deal to go to Minnesota at 2 years and 15 to get $15 million. Kenny Gainwell is going to go to Pittsburgh he's going to get an opportunity to run the ball, behind Najee. I mean, he's essentially
Jalen Warren. Najee's on the Chargers.
That's right.
Oh, that's
right. Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Najee's
I forgot about that.
Kenny Gainwell might be RB1 there, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he's going to have every opportunity to be able to. It's all going to depend on who plays quarterback for the Steelers, though.
They don't have one. They literally don't have one, I think, signed actively. But you have George Pickens and DK Metcalf, baby. And no one wants to play quarterback there.
Yeah.
What do you think ultimately happens there?
I think
I mean,
Aaron.
because you don't have a ton of options.
Wilson, Rogers.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers goes there. I think Aaron Rodgers signs with the Giants, and
Giants.
then Cleveland get Russ, and then Pittsburgh's like, oh shit. I don't know who they signed. I don't think there's anybody out there. Like,
Could we
besides
flip
those two.
Dorian Thompson Robinson?
Yeah.
For Minka Fitzpatrick? They're just gonna sell them to us. Yeah,
Listen,
it's been wild.
you have an opportunity to be able to, they did lose 6 guys that ended up contributing to, did a lot of contributions to that defense, especially down the stretch. I mean, you also, the trade that goes down with CJ Gardner Johnson yesterday.
I don't get that. I don't get that at all.
I mean, it screams to me like it's a lot more off the field than anybody wanted to kind of, lay claim to. I mean, it doesn't seem like anything was contentious. It doesn't seem like they parted ways with a bad taste in their mouth. When you look at what he said, seems like they were pretty upfront with him that like they know that down the line they're going to have a bunch of guys that are about to get paid. When you talk about the next couple years, when you talk about our boy Jalen Carter's about to, he's going to far surpass the highest paid defensive tackle. When that contract comes up, and you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay Nolan Smith. A couple years down the line, you're going to have to pay Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell in the same offseason.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. This is what happens in the NFL. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. Like, I still don't understand the CJ GJ thing, but at the same time, like from what I read, it was amicable. He even said like, exactly what you said, and he's like, I just wanted to go to a contender, and they traded me to Houston. So like, I'm grateful. I think there was just a lot of honest conversations in the building with the coaching staff and Howie, and because it's not like Howie's making these moves by himself,
right?
Which is good, because this is honestly the version of Howie that you want, listening to his coaches. If Vic Fangio didn't believe in the guys behind them, he would probably say, all right, yeah, at least get me Rodgers. But like, the person they needed to lock up was Bond. They got him locked up. You saw flashes of Kellen Ringo being an outside corner, where he looked good, and flashes where he looked bad. But he had kind of a year last year to sit and watch and learn. And I think that can only make Ringo better, and my boy Ricks. I like that. They have a lot of faith in Sidney Brown, and there's still guys out there, vets that they can sign. Simmons is still out there. You could probably get him for cheaper. He's older, and have a guy, helping Sidney Brown. That veteran presence, like that would be good by me. And
does Asante Samuel Jr. interest you at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, his dad played here, of course.
Yeah,
love his dad.
But his price tag. I mean, he's probably gonna be priced out of what we're gonna throw at him, because apparently they were also in the mix with the Justin Reed thing,
which is weird because they were claiming that it was.
If you're talking about money and this and that and paying guys, and then you're telling people you're in on Justin Reed, it makes you think that it's like, is there something else going? Was there something else going on with this whole CJ thing?
Yeah.
That they're just trying to sweep it under the rug, because you don't really save any money by moving him now. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to pay guys down the line, but you're not really saving. You're barely saving by doing that move. And then you bring in one of the worst guards in the NFL. I mean, yeah, we have Stout and you here, but it's pretty puzzling that all transpired, and that totally blindsided everybody.
Yeah.
And Joe, I think that move. There's a connection between that move and the market that you're not seeing with Mekhi Becton. I think that they realize that they can't pay everybody on that line. They know that Cam Jurgens' extension is coming up soon. And listen, if anybody can rehabilitate a former first round pick who underperformed, who is going to switch from tackle to guard, I mean, this literally this kind of
This
thing.
is the Becton story.
This is the same kind of thing with the Becton. Now, listen,
Yeah.
not it's obviously not a guarantee that you get the kind of production,
Right.
but you do have the fallback in Tyler Steen because Tyler Steen is also a first round pick. He's also a guy who's been able to step in and be flexible in being able to play multiple positions.
Yeah.
So like I I I, I I'm not as angry as I was because I kind of get it. The only part is like I don't get flipping a guy who was really productive on the field, showed leadership, was in a position of need, and you flip him for a guy who might be your guard.
Might be right.
Like and a guy who's essentially a project. When like you were just saying, when it's a move that you really didn't have to make this offseason.
Right.
That's where it screams to me like they're like, oh, and then you look back, right? This is going to be his what fourth team in 4 years? Four is it 4-4 or like 4-5? Like CJ,
4 or 5 and 5. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what does that say? Like he's very productive.
Hell of
Uh,
a player, pain in the
he
ass.
did stay healthy, but I
exactly,
think I think he wears out. I think I don't know. He might just wear out his wear out his welcome quickly because he's very he's
totally.
very flamboyant. He's very over the top. He's very like, he's not. He's right in your face. But that's what. But that's what you need. You need to have that mix. You need to have those kind of guys.
Yeah.
In your locker room for the camaraderie for your teammates. And I mean, he was. I mean, I think he had another six interceptions this year. So
Well, Joe,
he's
can I
very very
can I
productive.
share? I'm going to share a series of stats that's going to jump right off of exactly what you're talking about. And this is courtesy of Eagles Muse. Eagles DBs with 125 plus combined tackles, 15 plus passes defended, and 12 plus interceptions. Brian Dawkins, Sheldon Brown, Lito Shepard, Asante Samuel, CJ Gardner Johnson.
Mm,
CJ Gardner Johnson played 28 games. Everybody else on that list played no less than 50.
wow.
Yeah.
Like, same production, half
Yeah.
the amount of time. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is where I'm like, I can't really argue with the production. And you saw exactly what this team was missing in down the stretch 2 years ago, and not being able to kind of have a guy to balance and really get off of that skid. And then you saw him be a leader on that defense. That's why, like, I don't know. This one I'm curious to see like how they address it. Do they address it with Justin Simmons? Do they address it? There's a kid coming out of. There's a couple of safeties coming out of Georgia that could that be a position that they address at 32? I'm
Yeah.
curious to see how they deal with this. Because when you look at this position group, it's and we'll get into the draft capital that they have. There's an Adam Schefter video that I want to share that really does speak to kind of where this offseason might be trending towards where they might be going. Rich, talk to me about Howie season flipping Kenny Pickett. Kenny Tiny Hand. Did you see the meme that got shared with
No.
him shaking hands with Jalen Hurts?
No.
And it's like a full hand and like holding like a little baby finger and like shaking his hand saying thank you.
That's awesome.
But he flips Kenny Pickett, who you can tell that they've already seen what they needed to see out of Tanner McKee to be able to know that he's the number two and
Yeah.
clearly the number two. But they're flipping him to Cleveland for they get a 5th round pick and they get the project quarterback in Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Yeah. I mean, you got a guy who fits your system if anything were to happen in an emergency pinch. Cool. He's got to get way better, though. He stinks. But that's why we got Tanner McGee. But you get a 5th, dude. Like, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Pickett was, I mean, he saw more action in the Super Bowl than Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson combined.
Hey, listen, the Browns are getting a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
They're in a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He was on the field. I love it. I'm not as panicked as I was, like, initially when this stuff started dropping Monday of like why the Eagles aren't making moves. Um, I see us building a lot through the draft, like we'll talk about. And this just adds to it. I think Howie is looking at pieces that he can move and saying, give me all the draft capital in the world because now I can either move up or I'm going to have a plethora of picks and a plethora of comp picks. And we're going to be able to get the guys that we want. So we're not missing out on, if we had another pick in the 5th round or we had another pick in the 4th round. He's going to get those guys. And I just it just doesn't feel like he's acting alone on this, and that makes me feel better. I feel like he's getting the coach's input from all sides of the ball and saying, "All right, if we move this guy for here, like, we get a pick, like, who would we want? Let's look at his roster. Hey, Statler, what can you do with this guy? I can turn him into a guard. All right, cool, bring him. All right, we're going to move this piece for that piece. Like, I'm excited to see what happens to Bryce Huff because I think Bryce Huff's going to be traded as well, and moving on from his draft capital. Um, it's going to be interesting to see because we're going to have like 40 picks this year, and it's just going to be great. And we won't be able to sign any of them.
Listen, and the couple of moves that came out the end of beginning during last week, right? You get Zach Bond locked up, you get Saquon Barkley with the extension that creates more cap room, and then today, right, the news that just broke probably about 2 hours before we started with the addition of AJ Dillon, right, coming off an injury, but
Fucking quad squad
you
enhanced.
know, the quads
Squad.
the, we thought the quad squad was in effect when you added Saquon and Jalen. Can you imagine the tush push with Saquon with Jalen Hurts, this offensive line, Saquon Barkley and AJ Dillon all on the same field all at the same time?
Dude,
Yep.
their like combined squat weight is almost 2,000 pounds.
Disgusting.
It's absolutely insane.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So
he just got medically cleared, I think, recently. He
Yeah.
did miss all of last year, but I mean, if he's actually really like legit good to go, I mean, the guy could play. I mean,
Yeah.
26 years old, built like a freaking brick wall, and he can catch the ball to the backfield. So
Yep.
it remains to be seen of what shape he's going to be in and how he adjusts and fits in here. But I mean, he was when he was on the field and healthy with Green Bay, he was very productive.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
and you,
When I play Madden, obviously it's like Madden from like 2021 or whatever it is. His rookie year, I always trade
right,
for AJ Dillon and bring him to the Eagles.
nice.
He's just ginormous, so I'm like, it's like my franchise has come to life. But yeah,
Well, I wanted him. I was eyeing him in the draft. I was waiting for them to
Yeah.
swoop in and pick him up. But I mean, yeah, it was all over his college tape and even when he was with Green Bay and just watching and see what a physical specimen he was and like he's got really good hands too, so he can catch the ball out of the backfield. So
I mean,
yeah,
and listen, you see how productive Joe, how like you see the production when he and Aaron Jones were on the same squad,
hmm
right? I think you're kind of looking for the same kind of production, and I think they also know the workload that he carried during the season this year. They know that they're going to have to give Saquon Barkley opportunities, to get spelled, right? And that's where Will Shipley comes in, right? You saw
yep,
him in spots be able to be productive behind this offensive line
in the Super Bowl.
in the Super Bowl, right? You saw it in the NFC Championship game when they're molly-whopping the Commanders, but you get this opportunity right now to spell Saquon Barkley. He's clearly I think that you're going to see the competition for that 2 and 3. The 2 and the second and third running back are going to be kind of like an interchangeable depending on the situation
right.
between the two of them. But they bring in a fullback too.
Bring him back, yeah. Linebacker
Ben
slash
Van
fullback.
Sumeren,
Yep.
officially listed as linebacker slash fullback.
Man, why couldn't we get use check?
So when I saw that, that to me was like that would be like a really good sneaky, like he can play H back, he can play fullback, you can line him up, like you can inline third tight end. He's a really really good.
I would have taken him because we could have used him so
Absolutely.
creatively,
I
especially like him having him, Saquon, and Jalen on the field. Like if they decide to run like an I formation or like an offset, like Jesus Christ, like all three of those guys can run the ball. Like that would have been fun to see.
Yeah, it would. He's still out there. Nobody picked him up, right?
Oh, I'm so fucking happy, dude. The 49ers are just imploding, and I'm fucking
Yeah.
here for it.
It's gonna be. Go ahead, Rich. It's gonna be Brock Purdy and
And no one, Brandon
Well,
Ayuk.
yeah, they're trying to
takes
move
his contract.
Ayuk, right?
Yeah, the problem is
Yeah.
he's fucking getting paid $30 million a year. They were saying like if anybody takes that contract, we'll give him to you and we'll throw. They'll have to throw in like, say they get a two back.
Yep.
Brandon Ayuk and they take on. They're gonna have to throw like a third, like just for compensating with that salary.
Please take him. Yeah.
And it's crazy because they fucked up. And did I say it on this show or did I say it? I don't know who I was talking to, but I thought I said it here. Where they fucked up by not winning a Super Bowl under Purdy's rookie deal because they're going to have to pay him. But instead of this, they're just basically cleaning house, and Brock Purdy is going to be left like on an island to die. Like.
I mean, you're going to have Brock Purdy, George Kittle's probably 2 years away from the WWE
Dude,
at this point.
After this, they got rid of
everybody.
But they signed the other Bosa. Stupid.
No, he went to Buffalo.
Wait,
Joey went to Buffalo.
Joey Bosa went to Buffalo.
Yeah, he spurned the Niners and went to.
I thought he was going. I just want to
say Buffalo came in with a higher number, and he went to Buffalo.
He went to Buffalo on a 1 year deal.
Yep.
Dude, that's so.
Von Miller's still out there. There's still a lot. We'll go through the names. There's still a decent amount. There's still a decent.
Did you see how much Khalil Mack got?
Yep.
No.
34.
34. He got 18 million.
It's outrageous.
Fuck, dude.
It really is wild. Wild to see what and you don't see it now, right? But you see it down the line, the cap ramifications of what happens, which is why I have like I'm starting to wrap my head around this plan. I want to share this video. This is the Adam Schefter video. He's on the Pat McAfee show talking about the draft capital.
Yep.
You spotlight this. Here we go. Make sure the sound's on. Here we go. Cool. Let me make sure. You guys got to tell me if you can hear the sound.
Gotcha.
All right.
Champion Eagles.
Anything?
They have lost a ton of talent. In your opinion, why should fans maybe not be as concerned as you would be in years past?
Listen, when you win the Super Bowl, there's a price for winning the Super Bowl. And that's the fact that other teams want your players. You have to find ways to make up for it. Not everybody can get paid. When they lost Milton Williams and Josh Sweat and the cornerback Isaiah Rodgers to the Minnesota Vikings, they wound up getting 3 compensatory draft picks that day, or will be getting in 2026. And once those are awarded, the Philadelphia Eagles are scheduled to have 20 draft picks in the next 2 years, Ty. 20 picks. Most teams in a given draft have 7. The Eagles have 20 the next 2 years, including 11 in the first 4 rounds of the next 2 years. 11 and 17 in the first 5 rounds the next 2 years. You know what those picks do? Those picks give you a chance to bring in good young players on rookie contracts that allow you to pay the veteran superstars. So they're planning on these young players stepping in. And who has had a better drafting record than the Philadelphia Eagles? And by the way, it's probably going to turn into more once they lose Mekhi Becton. And who knows how they're going to manipulate the draft this year and potentially turn it into more picks next year or the year after. So This was, I think, part of the plan.
I'm going to stop it here.
Yeah.
Wow. Like
Yeah.
20 picks.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a ton of picks.
Eight,
and they're,
eight this year and
and
12.
like,
8 this year and 12 next year.
but even the amount of early round picks and
Yep.
with the way that he has been hitting, right? We don't have to go back through the last handful of years drafts because there are 0 misses in there.
Yeah.
This is where I'm like, oh, okay. So at some point, this is going to flip, right? At some point, you're going to have to you're going to have to all like a lot of their contracts and a lot of their money is all on the offensive side. That's going to flip pretty soon because you're going to have to start paying the guys on the defense too.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to be able to flip this roster and do the same thing that you did on defense on offense.
Yeah.
Like I love where when I heard that I was like, "Oh, I didn't put all that together." That's chess, not checkers.
Hey, Don, I just want to let you know something. Your name is not Mike Galetto.
Oh.
I looked down and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's not
Wait, hold on.
Mike.
This is because
I was like, why did
all,
Mike get so handsome all of a sudden?
we share all these we share all these profiles on here, so it's like when you log in, you gotta erase everybody else's stuff.
I get it. I'm just making sure. But yeah, dude.
No, I got you. But talk to me about that the draft capital.
Go ahead, Joe. You go first, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get cheaper, and the way to get cheaper is to have picks and have multiple picks at all positions, of need, depth pieces. Because you're not going to be able to pay. You're gonna run out of money. You can only have so much dead money. You can only have so much money that you can allocate and move down the line. So you have 8 this year. You have 12 next year. It's they're gonna they're gonna draft defensive end. They're gonna draft more corners. They're gonna draft safety.
Yeah.
You got to start thinking about the offensive line.
Great.
With Lane. I mean, he's getting up there in age too, so you're gonna have to start thinking about that. You're thinking of the now and you're thinking of the future. But yeah, you can't. You're strapped, and you can't. You can. I mean, Howie's a magician and he's a wizard, but that it all catches up to you at some point, and I think that's where we are right now. So, I mean, and if you can't find a better general manager or somebody who's able to manipulate the cap and manipulate the numbers and do these contracts
Yeah.
better than he is and how he's done it. But you're at the point now where you're having to, it's this team is built now more for the draft and hitting in the draft than bringing in all these free agents and high paid free agents, which they have in the past. So this I think they've hit something with drafting the right players from the right schools. The scouting has gotten so much better, and you see it. I mean, they've hit over the last however many years, guys that come in and can contribute from day one, which we don't really have that in Philly. We've never really had that in the past, but we do now. So that's where we're at.
Gentlemen, this is not. I just saw this. This is what we have to look forward to.
Big
Those
legs.
there are not enough weight. There's not enough weights on the squat rack. Like they're gonna. Someone is gonna have to get a mold for like a 200-pound plate. Like
Jeez.
that is like absolute tree trunks. That's wild.
Those dudes are jacked. And Joe, I agree with everything you said, bro. Because that's the way it's going to go down. Is going to be through the draft. We're in a good position because we hit on so many young guys that we have like 1, 2, 3 years left of control before we have to sign them, and that's when we have guys locked up till 2028, especially on the offensive side. So it helps. We could be in a way worse position. I mean, look at the Niners. I'm going to just bringing them up again. Look at
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
look at what the Niners have to do.
in the Super Bowl. They beat us, or no, we beat them to go to the. No wait,
We beat them the one year, and then they beat.
Yeah.
They
then they beat us.
They beat the Lions.
They beat the Lions. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And then they made it to the Super Bowl. And then all this hype this year, then a bunch of injuries, everybody gets hurt, season derails. They have no draft capital. They don't have draft capital, and they don't have cap space because
just
they-
best.
so you look at that, and it's like, okay, we could be like the 49ers, and the only guys we really have under contract are George Kittle, Fred Warner, and Brandon Ayuk, and we're not really happy with Brandon Ayuk. We still have to pay our quarterback, and we don't have
Right.
like that's crazy how they fucking dropped. Like they dropped the bag. Like they had no idea. And it's a poorly run organization. But we could be in a worse position. We could have just won the Super Bowl, lost. I mean, we lost a key piece in Beckham. We lost a key piece in Slay. We lost a key piece in CJGJ. But everybody else remains intact. And that's the important part of letting Howie do what Howie does.
Yeah.
We'll build through the draft. We'll get some fucking talent. I mean, listen, guys, Dallas is taking a running back in the first round because they don't have one on their active roster either. Unless Zeke's going into it because Rico Dowdle.
Oh, Rich, they got Javonte Williams.
Oh my God, I forgot. They're still going to take Gentry, whatever his name is. They're going first.
With no line.
Ashton Gentry.
Without.
I mean, with Zach Martin retired.
Zach Martin.
But like,
we're going to take
even Rich, to see how poorly teams are run, right, and to see how they're spinning, right. You look at the Giants. The Giants give Darius Slayton a 3-year, $36 million deal.
Same deal as Barkley.
It literally Barkley signed a 3-year, 37. Like,
yo, Darius.
Why would you want to
so
go
much better to see?
And then why would you want to go there?
He's just staying.
I mean, if you're a free agent, why would you want to go there?
No, he's staying.
I mean, the only reason to go there
was already there, Joe.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at the Giants,
why didn't he run, Joe? I agree with you. Why didn't he run?
Why? Yeah, what, dude? You could have just laughed, you idiot.
You're just so dumb. Just go.
Yeah,
just go.
Yeah.
Why did you?
In terms of the guys that are still available, right? Like, I know that there's some
Aaron Rodgers.
No, who? He's in the dark room.
Like a young edge guy coming off of like his first contract, like a guy like Azeez Ojulari. Is that a guy that interests you at all off the edge?
Yeah, but Howie's not.
Yeah, but but the problem is these guys are just they're getting too much money. I mean, he's good, but he's flashed, but I don't know if I would put out big money or close to big money for somebody like that. I'm looking at. I would do, and I might be on my own with this, but like a guy like Zadarius Smith, who's I think he's 31, 32 years old. Listen, he had 9 sacks last year between playing with freaking Cleveland and the freaking Detroit Lions, who had nobody left by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I would sign.
You're not going to have to put out a big number for a guy like that. I would bring him in. I mean, he could start. He could start, or he could be a rotational piece. But I think you need veteran depth at defensive end, and I think you need veteran depth at safety. So I would do. For me, I would do Simmons and Smith. I know there's other guys that are available, but of those guys, Simmons, his familiarity with Fangio's defense. He's 31, and I don't think he's going to command a lot of money, just because.
He got $8 million last year. He's not getting.
Yeah, and he was good. He had a really good year with Atlanta last year. So, those are the two guys that I'm looking at. I mean, there's other guys that could be had, but it's once you get younger with these young up and coming guys, they're looking for a payday. So
Well, listen, speaking of the opposite of getting younger, any interest in 39-year-old Calais Campbell?
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you can probably get him on a vet deal, a league minimum
Well,
deal.
and listen, here's the reason that I say this, right? You're gonna at some point in time, you're gonna get the guys that are gonna ring chase, right? The guys that are in their early to mid 30s, right? Guys that know that they've got maybe 2-3 years left. I don't know. To me, like that's a guy that you could sign for like next to nothing. He
Yeah.
brings a veteran presence in, right? Maybe that's a guy that you stick next to, Jordan Davis, next to Moro Ojomo, a guy like a vet
Rotational piece.
Yeah.
to just have him in the room.
Absolutely.
Who's the quarterback for the Vikings?
JJ
Oh,
McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, Sam
Brand
Darnold.
marketing.
Right, hold on. I know we're literally all over the place, but like Sam Darnold getting 100 million.
Yeah, what is that about? To
Dude.
throw to who?
JSN.
And
That's it.
that's it.
Not and Jigba. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah. JSN. Yep. JSN.
That's pretty much it, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's no one else.
Any interest in a guy like Dante Fowler?
Nah.
Yes, but I think he's going to want too much because
Okay.
he was very productive. I mean, I can't remember how old.
I mean,
he
he fit Joe. Oh, the only reason I mentioned it, he fits your kind of like
right.
guy in
But
his like early 30s.
It's a money thing. He's productive.
It is.
He's very productive. You can move him around. You can play both ends. But I think he might be more toward the money than toward where let's go win a Super Bowl.
I'm going to give you.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the
because he won one with the Rams, right?
Did he win one? Was he on when they won?
I think he wasn't. I think he played edge for them when
Was
they
it
won.
Fowler or was it Leonard Floyd? Maybe it was.
I think they had Floyd,
still
but I think they had
Donald.
Fowler too.
Yep. They had Dante, they had Fowler, they had Leonard Floyd, and Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to give you 2 former Eagles.
Okay.
Any interest in 31-year-old Rasul Douglas?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Dude, he's played
league
really
minimum. Why not? Depth.
Yeah. He's a guy that like you can bring him in. And here's the way I look at it, right? If you bring him in and that's a guy that like hypothetically the guys that you have in-house should beat out.
Right.
So can he come in and be right and be your Isaiah Rogers guy that like that's a guy that I'm like and Rich, like you mentioned, since he's left, he's been really productive.
Yeah, he's been good.
Like really
Buffalo.
like been really good in Green Bay, really good in Buffalo. Like
I can't believe he's 31 already.
I know, right? Seems like a while ago when they drafted him. I mean, but you think about it, right? He's been in the league, 8-9 years?
That's crazy.
I thought he was on the Eagles like 4 years ago. Fucking losing my
mind. The other guy that I'm looking at, Kaiser White.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
Okay.
He stunk.
How about
he stunk?
What do you think? What do you think?
Fucking terrible.
C.J. Mosley's going to get, and the Jets just let C.J. Mosley go.
My God, he's going to get a fucking
ton.
I mean, he'll get this. Here's the thing: there are a handful of teams that have a ton of money.
Yeah. Washington. New England.
Maybe.
Well, I think New England just spent a bunch of money.
Dude, Washington's trying to do the whole dream team through free agency thing. We've been there, done that, guys. Didn't work.
Yeah. A guy at safety.
Yes.
Julian Blackmon. He played from the Colts, right? Played 16 games. He did tear his rotator cuff in week 1, but
it's not an ACL. I'm okay with it. I want them to draft early that position, but I still want because I think we're too young at that position. To moving forward, I think Cindy Brown's going to be a good player, but I don't know if he's like you need somebody else. You need somebody he can split time with. You need somebody that they're going to push each. Brown might be the starter, Simmons might be the starter, but at least they're pushing each other, and you're going to get the best out of each guy. That's why I would, I would love for them to add a guy like Simmons, but yeah, I mean, you need rotational pieces, and you can never have enough depth. I mean, if it wasn't for all the depth we had this year, I mean, we might not have gotten as far as we did, and hey, Super Bowl champs. I mean, it's a tough time. It's March. We're like, oh my God, the sky's falling, but we won the Super Bowl, so this is the price you pay.
Yeah, I think. All right, so around the league, anything else Birds related? Anybody that we didn't talk about that you're looking at?
No.
I mean, listen,
Is Jahan Dotson locked in as our third receiver?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I mean going forward.
I mean, he fits the mold of what they're trying to do, right?
Yeah,
he's going to play on the last year of his rookie deal. He's going to be super, super cheap. And down the stretch was more productive than he was during the season. Maybe that's like a window into what he can do. And
I think we're gonna use him more.
If we're being honest, right, on a team right now, he's your sixth option if he's on the field.
Yeah,
he's really good for a 6.
I know one thing we didn't talk about.
What?
We did not talk about Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, that was my next. That's my next.
Sorry, Dallas. We're not extending next year, pal.
Is he staying? Is he going? What do you think?
I think he gets traded. I don't think he'll be for a 4th though. I think he'll be probably for another 5th.
5.
I don't think they're going to get a 4th. I mean, I love Dallas Goedert. Don't get me wrong.
But he can't stay on the field.
No, he's expendable 31 because you're not going to extend him. He's going to want big money next year, or be paid like a top 10 tight end. And to be honest with you, I'm not doing that to you at 32.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen.
He's got no more.
It's very deep.
He's got no more guaranteed money.
Right.
He's in the last year of his deal. The only way it happens is if he eats it and gets like a 1-year extension or but they're going to want to pay him nothing.
Yeah.
It's just
pay him.
The only problem with this is that this kind of thing is the same kind of thing with the CJGJ, is that you don't really have you have Grant Calcaterra behind him. You don't really have an answer behind him unless the one guy who's the guy for the Raiders? Who's the guy, the tight end?
Myers.
Michael Meyer.
Yeah, Mike Meyer.
Michael Myers.
Michael Meyer. What the Raiders did to his career.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a tight end, but here's Brock Bowers. Here's Brock Bowers.
But Rich, they have Geno Smith now.
And I have hemorrhoids.
Both are
that no one gives a fuck about, Joe.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl with Geno Smith. Oh man, two words that don't go together.
Yeah. So opening day, is he on a roster?
Who? Geno Smith?
No.
Dallas
Goedert.
Traded for him. Wait, who?
Dallas Goedert.
No, I don't think so.
No. I don't. Yeah, no.
I think they.
You think it happens before the draft?
Draft or they make a trade.
Yeah, either before the draft or after. It's going to be one of those. I just don't see him. I like Dallas Goedert, man.
Yeah.
But I just don't see him being on this team.
He's just not
inconsistent.
No, when you put it all together, it's hard because when you see him on the field, he's insanely productive.
Yep.
And he does everything that you want him to do, right? Catches the ball in space, blocks really well, really helps your run game. But you can pencil him in for missing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games a year?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it hurts.
Hmm?
You need a reliable option, and you need a younger one. Again, it's going to come back to extending him. You're not giving him. What did Evan Ingram just get today? Evan Ingram just got paid from
Denver.
I think it was 2 years for 22, or 2 for 33, or 3 for something like that. Over $10 million, and guaranteed money. You're not. giving that to Dallas Goedert at 32. Like it's
No.
just
No.
and you need him on the field because when he is on the field, he's so fucking good. But when he's not, you feel it.
Yeah.
You
When
get
really
he's
hurts.
not, they don't even, there's no, the tight end incorporated into the passing game just is pretty much non-existent.
That's where I feel like a move for a guy who's already in the league is
Yeah,
definitely
I,
one.
I would do that because I love Grant Calcaterra, but he's more of your he's more of a blocker. He doesn't have the same hands, the same athleticism. Yeah, he stepped up and had some big catches this year, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to give you 4 or 5 catches a game
Yeah.
consistently over a 17 game season. So I would go team to team and see who's available and could come in and be a productive piece to this offense. But
Yeah. Listen, I think if you can flip him for a 5 and then you turn around and you trade, a 4 to the Raiders for Michael Mayer, I think that's that's a good way to solve the problem. It's a creative way, and you're going to get a guy again cheap on a rookie deal, right? That's
Yeah.
all right. Around the league, moves around the league that are got your brain in a pretzel.
I was trying to figure out how much money Evan Ingram got. I couldn't find it on my watch. It pissed me off.
Let me try 5.
I'm trying
I
to
got you.
trying to think things that don't make sense. Ugh.
Sam Darnold,
Well, yeah, Sam Darnold to fucking Seattle. He just wanted to get paid. He's never going to win a Super Bowl. And anytime you get a chance to make $100 million, you're taking it.
100%.
Who did Miami get as a backup quarterback? Was it Daniel Jones?
no, Daniel Jones went to the Colts.
Daniel
The
Jones
Colts.
went to the Colts. I think
forget-
Miami finally got a.
Oh, where did you?
All right, Rich, the deal for Evan Ingram, 2 at 16 and a half.
See, wait, 16 and a half a year, or that's
No, 2 years, 16 and a half total.
Okay, good. All right. See, 8.5, but another guy who can't stay healthy. Or yeah, 8.
Would you do that? Would you do that, Rich? Would you rip up Goddard's deal and give him a 2-year total deal for the same money?
No,
Would I do it? I don't think so.
No,
I still think it's
Not
it's still a high price point for a guy.
right. Just because he can't see. If he was more available, I would say absolutely. But
If he would do 2 for 12 and give the hometown discount, I would say 2 for 12.
and like all you could do all incentive based, like how many games you play, Pro Bowl, touchdowns.
Rich, the guy you're thinking of is Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot. Yeah, he went down to Miami. Yo, at least he can throw the ball deep. So
Yeah.
there you go. When Tua misses,
Oh man, all those hot moms down there. Ooh.
yo, all the time, those baby moms. He's got like 15 of them.
The South Beach vacation mom,
Dude,
right?
he's set. He's retiring there.
Yeah. No, listen, the Patriots were busy, right? They've got all the they bring in a bunch of guys, but again, you're bringing in a bunch of guys to do what? That division, you're literally just going to compete for last place.
Yeah.
Because of everybody
No
else in the
offense.
division.
They still have no offense.
No, none whatsoever.
No, I was really surprised that they didn't make a bigger push for
A
Metcalf.
receiver.
With
I don't even know who's their number one receiver.
I mean,
Does anybody know?
I can tell you in a second.
No, Nelson Aguilar was on Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't even know who the receivers are.
Jalen Polk
Ooh,
and Butte.
that's outrageous. I would be like beside myself if I was a Patriots fan.
Have an offensive.
All right, you ready? You ready for their depth chart?
Yep.
It is Keyshawn Boutte
Told you.
and Kendrick Bourne
Kendrick Bourne
and
Jalen-
Demario Douglas
DeMar-
and Matt Collins.
Who?
Oh, they signed Matt
Oh,
Collins.
that's right. They got
Matt Collins.
Shoeless Mac.
Weirdo.
Shoeless
is.
Mac. Yo,
Very,
how about
very,
him?
very eccentric.
Dude, that guy's
and
great.
thoughts on the Rams with adding Devontae Adams, getting rid of Cooper Kupp and adding Devontae Adams.
I mean, of the two, I think Adams still has more left in the tank, but
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, they were good, and they gave us way more of a game than Washington did. I'm not sure what they did on defense, if they've altered anything on their defense, but I mean, if Matthew Stafford, if that team can stay healthy and Matthew Stafford can stay healthy, they're gonna be right in they're still gonna be right in the mix because I mean they were I mean you could almost say that they were a play away from beating us if it wasn't for Jalen Carter. So
Yeah.
you know they're definitely gonna be a team to reckon with. And yeah, I mean Devontae Adams, Matthew Stafford, that should be a really good combination, especially now that they've lost Cooper Kupp. So,
Yeah.
well, he's he's older. He's not exactly the same player as he was, but still, when you have Matthew Stafford throwing you the ball, you got a shot to win.
Yeah, I mean, Javon Hargrave goes to Minnesota. Minnesota, I feel like brought in someone else too.
Minnesota brought in a lot of people.
Except the quarterback.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Except the quarterback.
I don't remember who else went there, but
They've got
somebody else on defense. I feel like
two
Isaiah
corners,
Rodgers, and then didn't they get another corner or another defensive lineman?
and I think Kinlaw, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he went there, right?
Yeah, and Kinlaw went there. I think they loaded up, but again, you're paying you're paying guys a lot of money.
Yeah.
And
A lot of money, Rich. I was just looking. I was looking at the DeMarcus Lawrence, right? The 3 years. He's 33. 3 years, $42 million.
Yeah, I think 20
with
18 or 6. How much?
18 guaranteed.
What is Dallas doing?
The guy that I'm thinking of, Rich, is Jonathan Allen.
Oh, Jonathan Allen went there.
Did he go there too?
He went to Minnesota.
He got paid too.
Where did Kinlaw go?
He got a 3 year, $60 million deal.
Wow.
Where'd Kinlaw
go? As a Kinlaw. I'm looking it up.
I thought he went there.
He could have.
I feel like it was there or
the
Bears.
Bears?
Harold Landry is a guy who went to the Patriots. They're going to try to pair up with. They're trying to pair him up with Vrabel and with Milton Williams. But Milton Williams is like, I feel like Milton Williams is
overpaid.
You're going to see the same thing that you saw with Javon Hargrave.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're going to see that he was in San Fran for what, 2 years maybe.
Who? Hargrave?
2 or 3.
No, Hargrave before.
So it was the year after we beat them. So that was what, 2 years ago?
It was after the Super Bowl, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
22. So yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what are the Cowboys doing?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
But they restructured Dak and they freed up all this money.
Yeah, they freed up all this money, and they did the same shit with fucking CeeDee Lamb.
What are they going to do with Parsons?
They haven't spent. They said in free agency over $6 million since Greg Hardy.
What are they going to do with Micah Parsons?
They're going to trade him.
It's a great question.
What do you think he gets? Do you think he gets Myles Garrett money?
He gets.
I think that they go the stupidest route possible, and they're going to franchise tag him, and he's going to get
tag. Oh,
right. They're going to franchise tag him because they can't work something out, and then they're going to drag it on, and it'll be fucking stupid.
He's going to lose his mind.
Yeah, and I mean. But the funniest thing about the Myles Garrett thing is like he put out that like official statement, like right, like that it's all about winning and it's all about like I want to be traded to
bullshit,
right? And then what? Not even 2 weeks later.
I'm not meeting, and I'm standing pat, and I want out.
2 weeks later,
no way.
You just
bull crap.
Yeah, 2 weeks later, they come at you with a bag of cash, and you're like, I really love Cleveland.
Yeah. 3 years, I get paid. We don't have to win shit. This is great.
Because he knew he couldn't go to a contender. Because he doesn't want to take less money. He wants the money.
So more about the money than winning. because he could have gone into a contender and made 25 to 30 a year and had a legit shot at winning something.
Nope. Now he has no chance of winning anything, but he's laughing his ass to the bank.
Yep. So
It's very true.
he
He's
shows.
also going to be 30. He'll be
Yeah.
30 March 22nd. I
He
kept
shows. Where does Trey Hendricks get flipped? I think they want a one. They want a one, and then obviously he wants an extension.
fuck off. No, you're not. Like these teams where they're like, I'll go. I want a one for him. Okay, that's what you
fuck
want.
outta here.
But realistically, I'm going to give you a 3 because I have to pay this guy. Well, then we're not trading him. Well, then good luck being stuck with him. Like
Yeah.
DK Metcalf. That was the stupid fucking trade on Pittsburgh's part. You gave up a 2 and then paid him $150 million. Like, you lost that trade. You gave up a 2 and then paid him and have no
And you don't have a quarterback right now.
no quarterback, and you have another fucking headache on the other side in George
Yeah.
Pickens.
Oh, dude, they're gonna kill each other.
And now
They're gonna-
Darius Slay. And Darius Slay's going to be airing it all out on this podcast.
They're gonna kill each other, and they're gonna kill the quarterback when they don't throw him the ball.
God, the boss lady's check. She's texting me going, "Why can't what?" At first, I thought she's texting me going, "Why can't I see your show?" And I'm like, "I'm not sure why you can't see it." She goes, "Well, why aren't my comments coming up?" I totally missed the bubble with the comments.
Oh yeah.
But Lace, this is the Super Bowl sideline hat.
I need that hat.
Well, Joe,
I like that hat.
thank you, Rich. I appreciate it.
Kind of hat I wear.
And
It's fantastic. It's the best one I've seen.
Best hat. Greatest hat in the world.
Absolutely. Can I have yours? Will you sign it?
oh, most definitely. I'm sure Lacey would love me for me to sign it and send it to you.
Yes.
It's a good hat, Joe. It's a good hat. And you sign it and send it to me.
There we go. We'll just start passing it around.
Sounds good.
Oh God, with the
DB.
oh.
Rim.
Yeah.
Isaiah.
Apparently, this is the Lace. No one really watches this but us. So like,
Yeah.
you can say douchebag. Like you can say you think it's a douchebag brim.
No, I think she meant like DB is like duckbill.
Duckbill, Lace. You have to. I need some clarification on. I just need it.
Oh.
Gentlemen.
Yep.
Now that we have completely derailed the conversation into me translating text from my wife.
I love it.
Final thoughts.
Oh, the Cowboys suck. 49ers suck. Eagles are doing a great job just building. I'm excited, man. I can't wait till the warm weather comes. I can't wait for baseball.
Yes.
Because I'm like kind of down right now because the Sixers and Flyers both suck. Douchebag.
Confirmation.
Douchebag. Duckbill. I like both. Yeah, I'm a little down. So I need the warm weather and I need the Phillies. I need some, like you said, background fodder. Not going to watch all 182 games, but I'm going to listen to a fuck ton of them. So bring on the sunshine. Bring on baseball.
I like it. Joey, what do you
got? Animals. Adopt, rescue, foster, whatever. All of the above or one of those. Ours is doing well. Dexter's settling in nicely.
We got another pup.
Yeah, he's a great dude. We're not exactly sure how old he is. We think he's like a year or two old.
Nice.
But he was a stray. We got him at Act Philly in Hunting Park.
Nice.
He's fantastic. He loves everybody. High energy, very loving dog. And he's great, man. Just follows, whoever goes in the room with him, he'll follow you. He wants to be like right in your pocket. He's probably about 35 pounds ish, 35 pounds around there. He was malnourished when we got him. He was roaming the streets of Philly. So, yeah, if you want an animal, if you need an animal, if you love animals, hey man, they're great. Get yourself over to one of those adoption facilities or, foster an animal or a rescue. it's a great thing to do
Oh, yeah.
for your own well-being, for your family's well-being, and for the animals' well-being. So we that's the route we usually go, and it's great. Our son's happy, we're happy. So he found himself a new buddy, and we all did too. So we all love Dexter Morgan Bucci. Dexter Morgan
Nice.
after the show, because our son Lucas loves the show Dexter. So
Nice. Listen,
Send
Grace, we have had this conversation many a times. We currently care for 8 furry human feline canine
Oh,
children.
your kid's dead.
your children.
Didn't call your
Listen, they're all part of the crew.
They're
But
all under 8 pounds.
at some point, yes. When we have 8 furry animal creatures, it's just not the time. But yes, 100%, Joe, my wife, this is where we got all of our cats. We've got them all down for Max, so love supporting that. But like, I got to end it on a good note. The boss lady gives the stamp of approval. We're all good people.
Adopt, don't shop, baby.
That's right. Love that.
There we go.
Way to go,
My
Rich.
final-
Rich always has the good one-liners. Damn it, Rich.
Ah. Rich, you never miss a beat.
Nope.
I'll never forget your line about Darius Slay in the middle of the season and the barbecue comparison was like, it was so in stride and so on point, and it hit just right.
All the nice things, guys. Thanks.
Way to go, Rich.
Oh my God.
Let's
So listen, my final thought. So Jalix Hunt got fined for his bow and arrow
So
celebration
dumb.
in the Super
So
Bowl,
friggin'
right?
dumb.
Eagles fans offered to pay it.
Yes.
He said no. He said instead he encouraged donations to a program called Barbers Who Care in support of Boys Latin, which is a school in Center City, and their trips that they take to tour colleges. Today he showed up at school and presented them with a check for just north of $25,000.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Jalix Hunt, shout out
Go.
to you. You haven't even been in the city a year,
Love that.
and you're already doing good stuff, man. Just
It was bored.
that kind of stuff is like, it's just great when you see the outreach and the programs and the way that they can have that positive effect. So
Yeah.
on that note, Rich, take us home.
Well, you fucked around, you found out. I'm Rich, that's Don, and that is Joe. We are Drunk on Broad. And as always, it's fuck Dallas, fuck Justin Tucker, fuck Deshaun Watson, Ben Simmons. You know what, Joel Embiid? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
There we go.
On there. Joel Embiid, you
It's
are.
time to get off.
The
to
Sixers
big
and
guy.
Josh Harris, they can get a big one.
Josh Harris, like, dude, you scumbag.
You gotta understand. I hurt my knee, man. You gotta give me a break, man.
I hurt my knee. I had 45 Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
Huh? Hey, Rich, you got an extra milkshake?
What's the process of making a milkshake? It's like, get the
Oh my God.
dude. But yeah, we're Drunk on Broad. Philly, we love you, and peace.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Oh, I gotta
Go
find the
Birds.
music. Hold on. Go Birds. Here we go. Hold on.
Rich,
Here
what
we
was
go.
that?
Hold on. Oh, there we go.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.